Yo, what's good, YouTube? This is Who Is Like God. Yo, I'm making this quick impromptu video, y'all, because there's something that just happened in the culture with Kendrick Lamar. He just dropped a song yesterday on 9/11, which is the anniversary of all those who lost their lives in that horrible attack. You feel what I'm saying? Kendrick Lamar just dropped a song called Watch the Party Die. And I want to talk about this a little bit because I just want to get my thoughts, because I think there's really an opportunity here for the glory of the God of Zion. And I just want to elucidate my thoughts about it from that perspective. As far as the song itself goes, I have two frameworks. From a framework of like someone who appreciates the art form of rap, I thought it was a really nice, well done song. You know, there were some internals. There was a nice flow, a nice cadence. You know, I'm someone that loves the classic beats, loves the boom bap stuff. You feel me? So the sample was fire. I prefer that over the trap beats. That's just me. So in terms of that flow, and the appreciation of art, it was a really nice track that Kendrick dropped. Y'all are free to look it up yourself, called Watch the Party Die. However, there are some things that I don't think are good. That's just me keeping it a butt. I love Kendrick. I love for Kendrick. You know, we're all, you know, I know people are at different places in their walk with God. So I'm trying to, you feel me, just be cool and ecumenical from that perspective. But like I don't rock with mixing God and guns. I don't think that they should be praying on people's death, you know, wishing death on people. So that's something I disagree with in the track. I don't think that's a good thing. I don't think that's godly. I understand where he's coming from though, because he's talking about like wickedness and wicked dudes, you know, in the industry. It's sort of like more than like a diss at Drake or something. It's more of like towards the industry and that type of thing, which connects also to what I'm going to get into, because he shouted out Lecrae and DEE-1. That's what I want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? That Lecrae shouted out, Kendrick shouted out Lecrae and DEE-1. And that just kind of blows my mind, because you got to understand what, in terms of how the culture sees Kendrick right now, he's like the #1 dude, right? Because he just came off of that rap battle with Drake, and everybody says he won. I also think he won. You know, everyone says it was by a landslide. I think the margin was a little closer than people like to give credit for, but I do think Kendrick was the victor. This is me, you know, as someone who's observing the culture, someone who did listen to the tracks on the rap beef. Kendrick is coming off of that glory, so he's like the #1 dude in the culture right now. So I'm just thinking from a perspective of how God is able to use things, even if it's not righteous, even if it's not godly. The fact that Kendrick, who is like the #1 dude right now, is shouting out Lecrae and DEE-1, I think can be a great witness, because these are some of the most prominent artists in this you know, Christian hip hop world. I'm more familiar with DEE-1 and DEE-1's catalog than I am with Lecrae, just to keep it a buck. But that's what really the shout out was fire. Especially DEE-1, because I know I've listened to DEE-1. DEE-1 is really conscious. And you know, it's a lot of gospel rappers tend to be conscious, because, you know, you have to think deeply if you're going to be a rapper, but you're rapping from a gospel perspective, so that you can't just rap about anything like a lot of the secular rappers. Like DEE-1's made songs about colorism. He's made songs, especially Bizzle. Bizzle is my favorite Christian rapper. I have him in my top 5 between rappers in general. So Bizzle, DEE-1, a lot of these guys you see are very conscious and talk about actual problems in the community. You see what I'm saying? So the fact that he's shutting out DEE-1 is so astounding, because DEE-1, these are like, you know, independent guys. These are not mainstream guys. You know what I'm saying? They fight against the industry. They talk against the industry and the stuff they're doing, and how they're exploiting black people and things like that. So, you know, these are not industry puppets. These are not industry plants. You know, they're fighting for righteousness, and sometimes that can get controversial. You feel me? So the fact that he's just shouting out Lecrae and DEE-1, you know, this mainstream artist who's like #1 in the culture, shouting out these guys who are against the industry, or promoting righteousness, who, you know, are trying to glorify God and glorify Christ. I thought that was fire, because even though I don't think the song was righteous, again, we shouldn't be wishing death on people. I don't see that in the scriptures, bro. We shouldn't be doing that. You feel me? So, well, I don't think the song is righteous, and I say that in love. I say that, you know, as a brother, both you know, racially and hopefully spiritually. I don't know exactly where Kendrick's walk with Christ is, that I do see some positive signs with that. You feel me? I see the Lord being able to use this because God is able to use evil for good. We see that all throughout the scriptures. God's capable about using anything for his purposes. So how much so was someone who may be a little wrong in some things or maybe a little misguided, who's honestly fighting against the industry, which is a righteous cause, because in that song it's going against a lot of the problems in the industry, what's being promoted. How much more can God use that for his glory, especially now when it's bringing more light and bringing more attention to brothers like Lecrae and DEE-1? You know, so I want to say that because when I found that out, you gotta understand, like these are not industry dudes. You feel me? These are not. So for him to get, especially DEE-1 to get shouted out, was really exciting for the Christian hip hop scene and people who are really peeping that world to get more, to get righteous music in their catalog and all that type of thing. So I pray that this can be a blessing, that the Lord will use it. You see what I'm saying? People can check out their catalogs, and hopefully it can be a great catalyst for people to learn more about God, get more of an interest in God, and study those things and even listen to those catalogs. Because I'll tell you, go check it at 50. He has a track called J50 and Wheezy. He has another song called I forget the name, but I'll reference it. Those are songs I recommend from DEE-1. Those are probably my favorite songs from DEE-1 that I've heard so far. As far as Bizzle's got a lot of fire tracks. He has one called 911, one called Bamboozle, Ready or Not freestyle. Man, Bizzle got a great catalog. He's in my top 5 for sure, both secular and Christian rappers. So y'all go check out their catalogs, go show those brothers some support. But I just want to make this video because I thought it was really cool that Kendrick shouted them out. I think this could be a great opportunity for the Lord to use it, even though I don't agree with everything he said in the song. And the last piece is that Lecrae and DEE-1 actually responded. So I'm gonna show those tweets on the screen because I was waiting to see what they would respond. But it's just when it's something of this magnitude, you're gonna get all these people reacting to it that aren't followers of Christ or aren't necessarily followers of Christ, or at least the platforms aren't dedicated to that purpose. So you have people like DJ Academics, you have all these reaction channels, shout out to all of them doing their thing. They're gonna react to this because it's Kendrick dropping, but then the little reference to Lecrae and DEE-1, now that brings attention to these gospel rappers on these secular platforms. So I'm excited because it's a great opportunity in the culture right now to talk about God and talk about the gospel. And I encourage all of us who believe, to actually use this opportunity in the culture to talk about these types of things. You feel me? Because we can see all in the Bible how people are intelligent and they use their surroundings as a means to advance the message of God. We can see in Acts 17 where the Apostle Paul used the poetry of the Greeks as a means of repurposing it and showing the glory of God so he could witness God to them. We could also see how the Apostle Paul was able to sort of use the debate between the Pharisees and the Sadducees as a means to sort of get common ground with them, as a means of, witnessing Christ when it comes to the hope and the resurrection. You feel me? So all that is to say, there's a great value in looking, from like someone who's in the culture but not of the culture, in the world, not of the world perspective. Look what's going on and be able to use what's going on as a natural witnesses for Christ when the opportunity arises. I think that's a great framing for us to have. So with that being said, y'all be blessing God. Y'all be blessing the Messiah. And I see you in the next video. All right. Peace.